Konnichiwa! Okay, so this week we're going to talk about toys. Toys build imagination, and imagination is the root of childhood. And lucky for us, when we think of fluency, one part of being fluent is being able to explain yourself or voice your opinion or just handle yourself in a variety of situations, whether you're at the airport, the school, the grocery store, wherever, that you have the vocabulary to handle that situation. So if you ever take a language class, something that all language teachers always do is make their students act out a scenario, right? They're like, oh, pretend you're at a cafe with Mary, right? So why do they do that? Exactly, it builds vocabulary. And this is what we're going to talk about today, how we can do this with our kids. I titled this video, Benefits of Buying Bilingual Toys. So I do believe that there's an advantage when you actually play with bilingual toys that we're going to talk about, but you don't necessarily have to buy the bilingual toys to implement the tips in this video, and we're going to talk about that too. I think in general, just sitting on the floor and playing with your children, it's going to raise their vocabulary and it's going to build a special bond between you and your child because you're present and you're spending quality time with them, and you're going to realize that you're building something here. Like, you guys can have like a secret code even when you're out in public, no one speaks your second language, and then you guys can like say little things, and so you kind of get this like those inside jokes and all those little moments start adding up, and it is really a special time in your child's life. So this is just adding to all that time you guys spend together, making it extra special. So it's another bonus why I think everybody should be bilingual. All right, so let's get into today's tips. Buy toys that represent the minority language. I know I always emphasize that even though we live in Japan right now, we had zero plans to come back to Japan ever. So I was doing this in America with no intentions of coming to Japan except to visit. I think that we would plan like every other year to visit, save up the money. But for now, I was in America and I was thinking how, to keep my kids engaged, keep their interest, is buying the toys that represent the bilingual language. So what does that mean? It means that, how you watch Dora? Dora speaks Spanish. Your kids know when we're watching Dora, Dora speaks Spanish. So if you buy a Dora toy, she kind of represents when we're playing with Dora, we should speak in Spanish, without you actually saying it. She's kind of like subliminally hinting to this, So my kids like to watch Anpan Man. So in America, I would order Anpan Man toys. And you can get these things on Amazon. And if you want to be more specific, jump outside of the box, Amazon.jp. It's the Japanese Amazon. And if you're studying another language, look up that country's Amazon. All the Fisher-Price toys come in bilingual languages, not just Spanish as they sell them in America. They come in all of them. Look at this one right here. This is the standard, every infant has this little dog in their house, but it's either the all-English one or the English-Spanish one, right? This is the English-Japanese one, and they make them in all the languages. Even the little stand-up toys. I think I posted a couple pictures on my Instagram of some of the Fisher-Price toys in Japanese and English. So you can find these toys. You just got to do a little hunting on the internet. So let's get into how can these toys help you. So when my kids are playing with Anpan Man, basically it's like Anpan Man doesn't understand English, so why would he say that? That's not what Anpan Man would say. Ask him, what would Anpan Man say? And that kind of just, again, subliminally hints them back to the minority language, and especially when siblings are playing by themselves. I really want Jason and Olivia to be speaking Japanese when they're in their playroom and mommy's letting them have independent playtime, i.e. mommy time, right? Whew. Everybody needs a moment, right? But if I walk by or, I'm sitting right next to them, I can see that, oh, that's so good. They're guiding each other in Japanese while playing with these Japanese inspired toys. Build scenarios around those toys. When I started this video, I was talking about one of the many definitions of fluency, which is how to handle yourself in different situations. So what we're going to do when we buy these toys, our toys we already own, we want to think about vocabulary in different situations and set that up for the day. So if your child has a fire truck toy, it's a little bitty one. We also have a big one over there. You can, look up words the night before, always mommy homework, always daddy homework, and look up fire truck, fireman, danger, fire, help me, all these kind of words, and then you guys can play that out the next day. And you can play it with the toys, and you can also just play it with each other. Like, I'll just randomly, like, hey Jason, I'm the firefighter, and you're the person that needs help, so, and then we'll just act it out. So let's see what else we have. I bought some sushi toys. This is Melissa and Doug. They make really good toys. Everybody loves Melissa and Doug. Okay, so they have this. It's Velcro chopsticks, right? So they can just Velcro the sushi pieces and pick them up like they're eating with their chopsticks. I got this for their last Christmas in America, and they loved it. And then, of course, we opened up a sushi shop, right? And luckily, like I mentioned in my previous video, Textbooks for Kids, we have a subscription to Shimajiro Kodomo Challenge, and they had sent this they call it like a personal computer, but this letter learning, touch button letter learning, and one of the cards was a sushi. Like the pick your sushi, spell it out. So we used this together with our sushi that we got, and we opened up a sushi restaurant. And I would order, and they would be the restaurant owner, and then we would swap. And we'd play that throughout the months and just have a good time. So it's all about setting up the different scenarios. I also got this toy from a teacher store, and it says who, what, where, and when. I actually bought this toy originally because I am an ESL teacher at VIP Kid. Let me know if you want to sign up. I will give you all the details. So, you can pick a different image on the blocks, and then we make a story out of it. So I use this with my kids now, especially since Jason's older and he can tell stories. He's 4. Olivia's 2, so she's just there to listen, and she helps pick what image goes in the block. She can put them in. And, you can say the king had what? And he'll pick, oh, the king had treasure. And this is not right. And where did the king go? And the king went in the forest, and it has all different ones out of space. You can find things like this and then talk about weather and winter. And we actually can use this toy in both languages because in Japanese time, obviously we'll learn the words in Japanese, and then during English time, which has become our weaker language right now. So we've been, up in our English studies, so we can talk about how can we say this in English? How can we make a story out of these pictures? Okay, and of course, I know you all have puzzles. Puzzles are really good because they are any language you can use them. What is the fire truck? In both languages. So whatever time it is on your schedule, whether it's English time or your second language time, you can always pull out a puzzle. So this one is cars. You can pull out shapes. I think I put a video on my Instagram with Olivia actually saying her shapes in Japanese. And then, of course, on the weekend when we do English time, she can say these in English. And then we have one with fish. And I know this one, again, is Melissa and Doug. They are not Tammy, anything for this promo? So it just happens to be Melissa and Doug. These actually were gifts. So don't think that TR goes out and buys all the Melissa and Doug products because I would be broke. No, but I do love their company, so I do recommend, if you can, to invest in that. And the last thing I want to say is if you do have the Shimajiro Kodomo Challenge, they will be sending you these, and they send them in all different scenarios, so that kind of helps you if you're not a planner to get that subscription, and they will send you exactly what you can do. You know, if you're not the type to kind of Pinterest and come up with these things on your own, let it be delivered to you every month. So this one is the hospital, and we play one person sick and another person is the doctor, and we brought a little doctor set with the stethoscope and just different things. They have bugs. You can play about what bugs we can catch and play outside, and one person be the bug. It's all just different vocabularies pop up when you just act out different scenarios. And of course, go back to the basics like tag. We had to learn, I got you. How do you say that in Japanese, right? I had to learn all of these things all over again. So, but it was a good time doing it with my children, spending time with them, putting down the cell phone and electronics, which is really hard, right? But everybody, I'm like, even the little baby, put your tablets on the counter and we're gonna play. And they get so excited and everybody just has a good time. Motivation. Find what motivates your child. I believe that most children just want attention. And I keep saying this in all of my videos, is just putting the electronics down, turning the TV off, and just giving them attention. But for others, it could be shopping, it could be candy, it could be making their favorite dinner. I don't know. What motivates your child? It really depends on the age and their particular preferences. So find out what that motivation is, and let's use that to motivate them to move forward. So for instance, my niece, she started learning with us when I was living near her. And a big motivation for her was, if you practice and you learn your Japanese, I will take you to Japan. So she was like, really? Eyes got big. And she was like, all right, let me know what you got. And she was ready. And I will live up to that promise now. She'll be coming to Japan next year. So that's really exciting. Anywho, music. Okay, let's talk about music. So when you switch language times, a lot of people have trouble making that switch. So they're saying, their children are not responding, or you may be speaking in your target language, but your child is responding back in English or whatever your particular first language is. How do you kind of get them into that groove? Don't just jump right into it, like just because you were sitting and watching TV and you decided, okay, it's Spanish time, you go over to her and you just start, hola, whoa, we gotta warm up. So a great thing that I always do with my kids is I made a playlist, and we do Japanese dance time. So maybe if you're doing your second language, maybe from lunchtime until dinner time, then start after lunch, play that playlist that you made on YouTube with really fun songs like Pink Fong. They have really great fun dance exercise songs. Make a playlist, Baby Buzz, all these good YouTube channels. Put it in there, and then you are the key. You have to get up and actually do the dances with your child. And that is what's going to keep them engaged. Once they see, oh, mommy's having fun in Spanish, I want to join that. One of the songs in the playlist should definitely be the alphabet. Even two of the songs, if you can find two different versions and put it, in the beginning and the end, that would be great. And then once they're moving, they're having fun in it, that's when you engage them. And you're like, hey, today we're going to play, with our puzzles. Ooh, what shapes do you see? and you're speaking only in Spanish, and their minds have adjusted and they're ready to listen and engage in Spanish. So just remember, don't go hot to cold. Warm it up and then transition. All right, so that's my 2 cents for this week. Jane. Don't forget, like, share, comment, subscribe. I love hearing from you. So if you like this video, you liked my channel, hit the subscribe button. Comment, let me know what language you and your kids are learning. How's your journey going? Let me know.